So, hello all. As we know, we have completed our 2-day bootcamp, but unfortunately, I could not complete the UI part of machine learning model. So, I wanted to show you the UI part in the video. Okay. So, I'm just recording this now. So, if you have any queries, you can write back to me on my mail. All the links regarding the flows, the code, everything is available to you on the doc which I shared. I'll make the recording link also available in the same doc. So please do check that out and keep the file downloaded also, because if in case I delete the um, drive folder, I mean like drive file, you should all be able to access it, right? So please download that Word file and keep it with you. Right. So we should now go and understand how to build a UI for a machine learning model. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go click on import and I'll import the flow. So I've already copied the flow which I have given to you. So just I hope you all have also imported, right? So I'm just importing the flow. So this is the entire code and I click on import. Okay. So now this is the flow. I just paste it here. I'll show you how to work with this flow, and in the same time I'll show how to create the deployment. Okay. So please disable all the flows which you have previously created. So you just double click on the flow name, then you will get this pop-up. In that, please click at the bottom, you'll find enabled, click on it, it will get disabled. Now click on done. Okay. Go to the flow. Here you have so many nodes, no need to worry. It is very simple. You will understand it very clearly. Okay. So what I'll do is first I'll explain you this. Just open this form node. If you see in our data set, in the 50 startups data set here, what all columns we had? We have R&D spent, administration, marketing spent, state. So based on these four values, we are going to predict the profit, right? So these four values have to come from where? Have to come from the user. So I created a form node. Okay. So here you can create your own group name and tab name. So this is the group name and tab name which I'm using. And I'm taking these values. What? R&D spent, marketing spent, administration. All these three values are of what type? Number type. And the state variable which is of text type. Okay. So I have named this as RD, MS, AD and ST. So in these variables, the values which I'm entering in the UI will get stored. Okay. So then after that, I click on done. This is how I have formulated my form node. Now what I have to do, these inputs which I'm fetching from the user, I have to give it to what? To my machine learning model. Yes or no? So for that, what I have to first do is I have to make these variables global. Why do I have to make these variables global? I have to make these variables global because I will not use these variables not at this position only. Okay. So I will be using it later in the flow. Okay. Which means what is, here in the beginning of the, whenever you are fetching some information, that will pass to the next node only. So in that cases, what will happen is, if you don't make them global, the values which are fetched from this form will not reach till the end. Okay. So if you globalize those values, you can use it anywhere in the flow. Okay. So that's the reason what I do is I drag and drop a function node. Just search for a function node. Okay. I dragged and dropped the function node. In the function node, what I did is I wrote global dot set. I'll remove this. I'll show you. Okay. So here in the function node, what did I do? I wrote global dot set. What am I doing? The four variables which I created, RD here, RD, AD, MS, marketing spend, and the state. These four values which I have fetched from the user, I'm globalizing them. I hope for now, by now you have understood why I'm writing message.payload.st, right? Because whenever you are using a form, the all the values of that form are getting stored in the form of object in message.payload. Okay. So it's like in message.payload. Let me show you that. What I'll do is I'll remove this connection. Please, you people need not do it. Just follow the, just listen to me. remove the connection between them, and I deploy it. Okay. Now I'll show you how the form looks. I'll open the UI. Once again, how to open the UI? You can either copy the URL till .NET, paste it in the new tab and give /UI, or you can click on this graph symbol and click on this pop-up button. Okay, this one, this symbol. Okay, then you will be open onto your UI. Okay, so here it is asking you for R&D spent, marketing spent, administration value, and the state. What I'll do is, in the let us just look at the values. So what are there? These values, right? So let us give these, I'll give some numeric numbers and the state to be New York. Okay, so here and state is New York. Okay, now I click on submit. Let us go and check how is the values which we are getting. Okay, so here if you see in message.payload, you have got an object. Inside that object, you have all the variables and the content which you have given. So to fetch each one, what I do, I write message.payload.rd to get this value. Message.payload.ms to get this value. Like that for the other ones also. Okay. So hence in the pre-token, while global.setting, I have given those URLs. So message.payload.rd, in which variable you want to globalize this value? What is the global variable name which you want to give? I'm making it as rd only. You can change it to anything you want. Okay. So I'm storing the value which I am fetching from the form in a global variable called rd, ad, ms, and st. Okay. Then what we have to do is, see, you are using the machine learning instance, right? So your model is stored somewhere. First of all, what you have to do is, in the cloud there are many models which are going to get built. So first you have to go and get a kind of OTP or a access token, okay, to access the machine learning instance. Okay, so for that what you have to do is, please go to the tab in which your dashboard is available, or any other page where you see this nav bar. Here just click on this drop down under manage, click on access IAM, click on access IAM. Okay, so you are generating an IAM API key here now. Okay, so after you click on that, now go to API keys, click on API keys, click on create a IBM Cloud API key and give a name to your API key. What is the name? I'm saying ML key. Okay, and then I click on create. Now a API key gets created. What you have to do is, you can copy this directly and also keep this file downloaded, because in future if you want to access, you can directly use this credentials. Okay, so I've downloaded and I'm saving it on my desktop. It's up to you where you uh, save it. Okay, I'm saving it on my desktop. Now what I do is, now I go back to my Node-RED. Okay, in the pre-token, I give this API key. So that means, see, like your machine learning instance is logged. Okay, you need to give it a key. When you give that key, it will give you access token to go and access the repository of your models. Okay, so that key which you are using is your API key. Then you will give the headers. Okay, so here the header is application xww form URL encoded. So this is in which way you are sending your content. Then under message payload, what you will say is how you want to get it authorized. Grant type is what? Grant type is API key, and you will specify the API key. Okay, here the variable name is API key and the key name is API key, like that. So grant type, here we are specifying, saying the IBM URL along with API key. Then that API key value also you have to give, right? So I'm passing the API key variable in which I have stored the key. Okay, now I click on done. I connect the form with this pre-token node. Okay, and now what did I tell you? You have to go and unlock your repository, right? So I send this API key to a URL. to send it to a URL, you have to have a HTTP request. Okay, so if you just search for HTTP, you will find this HTTP request node. Okay, so just open the HTTP request node, put the method to be as post, and give the URL to be this. Okay, so this will generate the access token. Okay, it is like there is an event. If you have to go to the event, what you do generally, you give your, if in your college, if you have to attend an event, what you do, you give your details, right? Your college roll number is the key one. You give your roll number. Based on that, they say, yeah, okay, you are allowed for the event, and they give you a access card with which you can go, you can show that card, and you can enter into the event, whichever you have registered for. So like that, you go to this particular link, it will give you the access token. I'll show you the access token now. I click on done. I remove the remaining part of the flow. Okay, so here I have disconnected this part of the flow. Now I deploy it. I click on, I go to my dashboard. I submit these values. Now let us go and check. If you see, I have got the form values from this particular payload. If you just hover, you will get it. And then I have also got the access token. Okay, so here if you see, this is the access token which I'm getting from this particular HTTP request. Okay, now that we have got the access, we will go to that particular repository, and from there we'll fetch our model. Okay, now let us go and check how we can do that. I've removed all the previous developer outputs by clicking on this delete symbol. Okay, now just open this pre-prediction node. Here what I'm doing is, now I want the inputs which I want to give it to the model. Okay, so then what I'm doing here, I am retrieving. I have set them there, right? In the previous node, what did I do? I have set them globally. Now I'm doing global.get. That means globally there is a variable named rd. That variable value I'm fetching and storing it in rd variable, local variable. Okay, similarly, ms is a global variable. I am getting that value from ms and storing it in the local variable ms. You can give different name also, no problem. I am using same name for convenience because I forget what name I gave if I repeatedly change the names. That's the reason I'm using the same name. Okay, so then ad value from the global variable is fetched and stored in local variable ad in the similar way for the state. Then what am I doing is, I am storing this access token which I have generated just now in the variable named token. If you see, I already told you, right? Everything is in the form of message.payload dot. Inside the object you had access key, so that access token. Okay. So in this message.payload.access token will fetch the access token which was just generated. Now, again here you give the content type. How is the content? This content has to be sent in the form of JSON. Okay, so this input should be sent to the model in the form of JSON. I'll tell you why only JSON also. And then authorization is this token you have to give, right? So barrier authorization is what we call it. And then we attach the access token which we have received. Okay, so it should accept which type of information? It should accept JSON type of information, application/JSON. That's the reason we give this. Now, before you go ahead and understand what is this payload, why we have given it only in this format, let me show you the machine learning model which we built. Okay, now let's go back to our machine learning model. Okay, so here you have trained your model. I told you, right? So here what is happening, out of all the models which it built, it found the best model to be this P8 pipeline, the model which was coming from the P8 pipeline. So it gave a star there. So if you see, it has given a ranking of the models. It says the ridge model is the best one. So now when you have created this, when you found that this is the best model, you can either save it as a model or as a notebook. Okay, so we want to generate a model. We don't want a notebook in the sense you will get the entire process of the model which was built. I want to save it as a model for use, right? So I click on save as model. When I click on save as model, it will give me a pop-up for saving, like with which name you want to save. I don't want to change this name. So it is in the form of my project name hyphen the pipeline number hyphen the algorithm with which it was built, and then I click on save. Okay, so now the model will get saved. I've already saved the model. I'm saving it again for your convenience. Now click on, this is saved successfully. Click on view in project. Okay, so the model is saved. What was our step in the PPT? I explained you, right? What was the step after you train your model? Once you get the, once you understand everything, what do you have to do? Like once you train and test the algorithm, what do? You have to deploy it, right? So what you do is here on the overview page, it will give you the what is the type of model it has been built, everything. Okay, so here the input format, everything it will give, the date of training. Now you have to deploy it. For deploying it, you have to click on this promote to deployment space. Click on that, promote to deployment space. Now it will ask you to create a deployment space first. So there is no space to provide yet. There is no deployment space which got created till now. So we have to first create a deployment space. Okay. So click on new space. Click on new space. It will ask you to create a new space here. So give a name to your deployment space. I'll say, what is this project about? 50 startups, right? So I'll say 50 startup deployment. Okay. So I just give that name 50 startups and I click on create. Okay. So now that particular deployment space is being created. Once the deployment space gets created, in that deployment space, we will deploy our model. Always remember, when you are developing, you will use the developer space. When you are deploying, I mean, like when you have to give it to others, you will create a deployment space and give it. Okay, so there is where your endpoint gets created. So if you see, now the target space is changed to my deployment space. And now click on promote. With this, what will happen is your project, your model will be moved to the deployment space. Okay, so it is successfully moved. Now if you see, it is promoted to the deployment space. Now if you just, if you have to move to your deployment space, it is gone. You can't click. You should be quick in clicking. If you did not click, okay, then what you have to do is you still have an option to go back to that space. How? Please go to the page or Watson Studio page, click on get started, click on get started. Now, it will take you to a page where it will ask you to create a project, create a service, take the tutorial, right? So there, here, under this, you have quick navigation, you have projects and deployment spaces. Okay, projects will give you the list of all the projects, and deployment spaces will give you the list of all the deployment spaces which you have created. Click on deployment spaces, click on deployment spaces. It's asking you to, if you want to take a tour, if you want, you can, otherwise you can just skip it. And then open your deployment space. Open your deployment space. In that deployment space, you will be deploying your model to generate the endpoint. Okay, so you have your model here. Okay, so if you just hover on this, you will find this symbol, deploy symbol here. Okay, so click on this deploy symbol. Okay, so it is saying we did not associate. See, while creating the project, what did we do? While we were creating the experiment, we associated that experiment with machine learning model. In the similar way, here also you have to associate the deployment space with the machine learning service. So click on go to space settings, go to space settings, and here you find associate service. Click on associate service, and you will have this option, select a machine learning service. So click on the service which you have created and click on save. Okay, so with this, what will happen? A machine learning service will get associated with your space. Once you have associated, now go back to your deployment, sorry, assets, go back to your assets and just hover and click on deploy. This will ask whether you want to do an online deployment or a batch deployment. In online deployment, in the sense, what will happen is you will give one particular inputs which you want, generate the URL endpoint, and then you will do it. In batch, you will create jobs with set of data. So whenever this particular batch is called, that particular data is given automatically and checked with. Okay. So I don't want that to happen. I want customized input to be given. So I click on online. So this will take the real time data from the user and give it to the model. So I want an online deployment. Give deployment the name. So this is my 50 startup deployment. Startups deployment. I name it like this and I click on create. I click on create. So a online deployment is being created. Okay. So now go to deployments. Oh, okay. It was taking a bit of time. So let it create the deployment first. Okay. So if you now see, it is getting created. Just refresh once, you will see. Okay. So it is in progress now. Once that is completely created, then you can use the endpoint from here. Okay. So it is deployed. Okay. So now click on view here, or just click on this button, it will open. So here, if you see, you have got an endpoint. Okay, so this is the URL using which you can create. And did you see the barrier is what? IAM. Okay, so that's the reason we gave the IAM key. Now are you able to connect the dots? Ma'am, I don't want to use Node-RED. I want to write my own code in different languages. Definitely go ahead and write. Use these code snippets. Okay, so these are the code snippets for curl, Java, JavaScript, Python, Scala. Okay, so you can go ahead and integrate it with these particular languages. Otherwise, you can use this link, give it in your Node-RED. Okay, I click on test. I want to first test the model. So here what I do is I give some values. Okay, I give some values here. And here in the state, I give it as New York. Okay, and I click on predict. It is giving me the prediction here. The profit value is this. Okay, so I want to show how you have to give this input. Okay, if you just click on this, a kind of code, your editor symbol is there. Now, if you click on that, it will give you what is the input format here. How is the input format? Input data. In that, fields are there. Fields are what? All the names of your columns. And then values are the values which you are entering. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll copy this. You can copy this from here. Okay, come back here and paste it. Do you see? It's the same thing. Under fields, I gave all the column names and values. What should be the values? It should be the values which user entered. What are the values user entered? They are stored in RD, MS, AD, and ST. So I give RD, AD, MS, and ST. Got my point? Everything clear till here? So now, after this, what I do is I click on done. Okay, I connect my I have to give, see here what we are using, you are using the access token, right? Access token is generated where? In this particular HTTP request, it is giving me, it is returning the access token. So this access token has to be passed to this particular node. After that, the inputs which we are giving in the form of message.payload, they have to pass to what? They have to pass to the endpoint which we have created. So now just open again here. If you just go to API reference, you have the endpoint, right? Copy this endpoint, go back to Node-RED, open your HTTP request here under model. Okay, so you have little thing, remove that everything and paste this code. After that, put a question mark, give version, put a question mark, give version equal to version equal to 2020 hyphen 09 hyphen 01. You might ask me what is this? So this Watson was, the new version of what's in this deployment space and all was released on 1st of September 2020. So this is a new version. That is what we are mentioning it. Why are we giving like this is, we are passing it in the form of URL so that it will understand. Okay. So now you click on done. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll see how is it returning. Okay. What is it returning? How is it returning? I remove the connection between these two. I remove the connection between these two, deploy my flow and check what is the output which I'm getting when I'm giving the input. Click on deploy. Now go back to your UI. So I put these values to be like this. I don't change them and I click on submit. Now go back to your Node-RED and see. So first the values have been fetched. Now it is requesting there. It has generated the access token. After that, it has went to this HTTP request. It has requested. Now you get the predictions here. So if you just open the object, message.payload, under that you have an object. In that you have a variable named predictions. If you just open it, inside 0, you have fields and values. To click on fields, you will have this prediction. If you click on values and inside that 0, you will have the value, right? So now what we'll do is we want this value to be fetched, right? So you can either write all these things or simply what you can do is you can simply click on this first icon. When you hover, you get first icon, right? Copy path. Click on that, the entire path will be copied. Now open one more function node. So what I do is in message.payload, I write message dot and I paste the code which I have copied. So what I'm doing, which is in the form of message dot payload dot predictions of 0 dot value of 0, that value I'm putting it in message dot payload. Okay, and I click on done. Now I connect from where do I get that message dot payload dot everything? From the HTTP request, right? So I connect this HTTP request with this function node. Okay, so whatever the value is there, I am putting it in the text node. Okay, and I name this text node as profit. Okay, and click on done. Now I deploy this and check whether it is working. Okay, go back to Node-RED. Now submit these values. So if you see here, it was requesting still. After this requesting is done, it will request here. After this requesting is done, go back to your UI and see the profit value has been given to us. It is predicting. Okay, now change the values and see. Okay, now I'll give a different state. Instead of New York, I'll give Florida. And I click on submit. If you see, the output has been seen. Okay, so this is how you can simply make a UI and use it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you very much. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask me. You can send a mail to me to gayatri@thesmartbridge.com. Gayatri@thesmartbridge.com. My email ID is available in the doc, which is containing the day 2 steps. To that particular doc, I'll add the day 1 steps and the link of this particular video. Thank you very much. Have a great day.